We're going to compare the Classic Edge with a couple of competitors' furnaces, Brand X and Brand Y. Would you buy one of those? We're going to show you how in the real world, the only one that really works is the Classic Edge. It works for real people in a real situation with real wood. Now the point here isn't to pick on other brands. What we want to do is point out some design differences. By pointing out our design versus other designs, you can see why the Classic Edge performs so much better. Let's start with insulation. The Classic Edge uses sprayed-on urethane foam insulation. We have a whole video on that. There's more to insulation than just the type. Of course, urethane foam is much better, but think about the exposed metal surfaces. We keep that door frame pushed way back into the urethane foam, very small spots for heat to bleed off. Over here, other brands, look how much of this door frame is exposed. Both door frames, there's no insulation in there, there's no insulation in here, all kinds of areas for heat to bleed off of. The rear access door, you'll notice there's no insulation whatsoever on the water jacket. Now down here, as your pipes go out, you have this area that's not insulated underneath here between the furnace and the ground, exposing furthermore your lines. And right here, these legs basically pump heat from the water jacket into the ground. On the Classic Edge, we have minimal contact points in the water jacket, almost zero heat loss. Impressive for us. And look at Brand Y. Look at this outer door. It's not even sealed. It's one big area for heat to go out. Right here. Look at, you open the doors, look at all that heat loss area around the perimeter of the doors. In fact, you have 3 of them. Major heat loss. Okay, so we haven't even talked about controls yet, or in this case, lack of. Let's take a look at the controls. Both Brand X and Brand Y use extremely simple controls. Basically, the level of technology here is similar to that of a light switch. Now, what makes the Classic Edge really special is we actually sense the reaction chamber temperature, and the controller makes decisions based on that information. Neither Brand X or Brand Y measure reaction chamber temperature at all. Here you can see the inner workings of the furnace, a couple of aquastats, some relays, 24 volt or some kind of transformer, and a switch which allows you to have control over the fan, switching it from low to high. I wonder if this thing actually hooks to the internet. Now, since this model does not actually sense the reaction chamber temperature, each furnace ships with this little dial on it, and you need to make sure every time you put wood in that you adjust this, and then after it's burned for a while, you make sure the chimney has reached between 275 and 400 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty crude. 2 things I want to talk about: air channels and wraparound pumps. On the Classic Edge, the air channels are removable, so if somebody plugs something up, you could easily take that air channel off and get to it. Remember, every nook and cranny is accessible on the Classic Edge. Now, on Brand Y over here, if you plug up the side air channels, the whole side of the furnace has to come off. Okay, over here, both models, X and Y, have wraparound pumps, which require a lot more electricity. It runs constantly circulating the water. The reason they're doing this is because they're pulling the hot water supply off the bottom of the firebox, or close to the bottom. Why not pull the hot water off the top, like we do? It makes sense. Your water heater does it that way. Okay, let's talk about fans. There's 2 types of fans used on outdoor furnaces. Both Brand X and Brand Y use an exhaust fan, which sucks the air through the firebox. But it's not only air they're sucking. The big problem with exhaust fans is maintenance. The fan is constantly sucking all the dirt, creosote, ash, smoke, and exhaust through it. The fan needs frequent cleaning, and it's relatively expensive to replace if it's not maintained correctly. And these fans are not easy to get off. The Classic Edge fan is located right here on the front of the furnace. It is not an exhaust fan. It pushes in clean, fresh air for combustion. And if anything's ever wrong with it, simply 4 bolts and you can pull it off and take care of it. Now, would you rather have a fan that pushes or one that sucks? Now, on to the big daddy, heat exchangers. The EasyView heat exchanger on the Classic Edge is easily accessible through the rear door. It's easy to maintain and clean. And even if there is a problem, it's not a big deal to clean it out. Brand X and Y have tube heat exchangers running through the middle of the furnace. That should take off the light ash and the dry dust. But what about that wet, sticky, gooey creosote? What are you going to do if that builds up? If it plugs up or starts to stick, what are you going to do? You take these out. And let me show you how you do that. Okay, so just to recap on brand X and brand Y, you need to take off the roof panel, peel back the insulation, and then take apart the mechanism and pull it out some way or another to actually clean them out if somebody screws it up. With the Classic Edge Easy View Heat Exchanger, it's easy.